Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. Today I have my design team layout for Festive Friday. Our next challenge is the first day of summer challenge, and we had a list of 10 things we needed to choose from. You only have to choose 3 of the 10 things as always. So the list goes sun, watercolor, bright colors, patterns, summer sports, camping theme, vacation theme, ice cream, buttons, or flocking. I love this type of challenge because you have a recipe with challenging things, but you can always try and find at least 3 of them you can work together. I actually found this one really challenging, even though at first I thought it would be a piece of cake. I started working with my products and realized I didn't have a lot of the themes that were incorporated in this, or the color type stuff, so it was challenging for me, but I had a lot of fun with it. It forced me to pull out a collection I have neglected. I bought this collection at Tuesday mornings thinking it'd be really fun to use, and then have had a really hard time using it. So I love this challenge. It forced me to pull it out. I felt like it had a lot of fun patterns in it. I felt like it had a lot of bright colors. So that's what I'm going with first. I know I have my patterns covered. I know I have my bright colors. But at some point I need to try and pull in one other item from this inspiration list. But for right now, I'm just starting off with putting my page together. I really like the idea of getting this red paper used up, as my background. This photo is of me, my brother, and my sister at the Coca-Cola factory in Atlanta, Georgia. They have the actual couch that was on American Idol and in their museum, so we just got a picture sitting on the couch. I just wanted to document it, and I really felt like this red background paper really reminded me of the scripty cursive Coca-Cola logo. So I thought that was perfect. There are some yellows and some blues in the photo as well, so I thought that those 2 colors would be great to pull in. So I just decided to stagger up a few chunks of paper. I wanted them to be big chunks so you can really see the pattern. A lot of these patterns are tight and small, especially the small scripty one, so I feel like the bigger chunks of the bigger patterns make it easier to see and make it not so busy. I did gut the red piece, so I had a spare piece of that to map my photo on, so I just went ahead and did that really quick. So this part of the design of the page came together really quickly. And then I love this collection, or these types of collections, where it includes a sticker sheet. So you already have coordinating embellishment. I really wanted to challenge myself to get a good bit of this sticker sheet on the page, at least use up a couple of the bigger items. So I'm going for the things that are already within the color scheme. I pulled off this blue frame. I tried to get that into 2 separate spots, and then I wanted to pull in some of these black elements too, just to ground it, because there's some black in the photo, but there's not really black anywhere else yet. And I thought having that darker element would also help ground all of these bright colors. So I'm deciding to pop up the black elements on some foam just so there's a little bit of dimension. That's one thing I always find with these paper collections. Obviously, if you just have paper and a sticker sheet, everything is really flat and not dimensional. So popping these little stickers up on some foam really help with that. So I really like having those in each cluster. I like having them layered over the frame just so that's kind of balanced across the page. I was toying with the idea of maybe offsetting this photo over the blue. Originally I thought I was going to have it completely within this yellow paper, but the more I played with that, I think it looks cooler having it run off the edge. And then the branding strip for one of these other papers was this black scripty font, so I wanted to pull that black somewhere else too, and that was the perfect size. So I'm just taking that branding strip and using that as a horizontal element just to bring that black in somewhere else, kind of anchor my photo so it's all grounded, and you have this one place where your eye's kind of drawn to and can follow across the page. So I'm pretty sure I want my photo hanging over the edge now. I think that makes it look a little cooler. So now I have that, and I really just need to embellish with these stickers now. There's a lot of really fun like pink embellishments and yellow embellishments, but I really wanted to stick to the blue and the black and maybe a couple red pieces. So right now I decided to go ahead and try and use this typewriter because the Coca-Cola factory goes back for so long and there's this huge museum in there. There is a lot of stuff that's dated and reaches back, and typewriters kind of give you that vibe of an older time. So I just wanted to get that on there, and it was nice because it included a little journaling spot, so I just labeled it, Coca-Cola Factory's American Idol couch, and I just wanted to label where we were pretty much. So I took a white frame to have that sitting on there just to create a little cluster. There's also a little red heart on the sticker sheet that says happy moments, so I decided to layer that over the blue typewriter as well, just to bring another hit of red in. So this is really cool. I really like when we get sticker sheets like this where there's a variety of sizes and shapes. It really lends itself well to being able to create these more in-depth clusters just from one piece of, product. I did want to beef it up a little bit, and I had a scrap of this small white doily, so I decided to tuck that behind the typewriter. I think that adds a nice little detail. Doilies, again, kind of always make me I use doilies on everything, so it doesn't really make sense, but in this context where you can see all these photos in the background of my picture of these older advertisements, I don't know, doilies just make me think more vintage sometimes, so I liked including that. But I was trying to find some titles, and I ran into these epoxy thickers I had left over from my Hawaii pages, and I was like, I need to use these up. I can't just have them sitting in my stash forever. So there's a few black elements I decided to pull in just to bring that black out a little more. There's these two black lines that I decided to put under the photo just to bring in a little pop of black down there. And there's also a black geotag I decided I would include somewhere. I thought I was going to include the geotag in the cluster with the typewriter, but when I go in and add my title, I end up putting it up there instead. But I really like adding the pop of black, but these epoxy textured thickers are so nice because it just gives you that glossy dimensional effect, and I just like when you can see that there's different textures on the page and it's just not all paper. So the doily helps with that as well. But I got a little bit of glue on my doily, so I was just trying to roll it off really quick because I thought I was going to put the geotag there, but I changed my mind. So I'm going to go and do my title really quick. I have these really sweet thickers. What are these ones called? I always forget. These are called Delight. This is the second time I'm using them. I got them at Tuesday mornings, I think, and they're just a really good size, and you get a lot of letters on there. So I'm just going to title this The Iconic Couch. We used to love watching American Idol in my house, so it was really cool that we got to see this couch in person and sit on it. So I just wanted to document that, and I thought that was an appropriate title. I was gonna call it like Coca-Cola Factory American Idol Couch or something, but after I already had that in my journaling, I decided I really didn't need that repeated, so I just decided to go with this as my title instead. And it's spaced out pretty nicely across the top of that yellow paper. There's just this little gap on the left side that I decided to pop that geotag, and I thought that was perfect. And then I panicked because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm almost done with this page and I still need another element from the inspiration list. So I dug through my stash and I found a couple buttons. And I really feel like that was the only thing I could pull in from the inspiration list that I actually had in my stash, and that went with the theme of the page. So I was like, we're going to make it work. We're on a couch. Sometimes couches have buttons. It's a fabric thing. So I'm like, whatever. It's going to be an embellishment. It's going to be a cool touch. It's going to get them out of my stash. So that's kind of where my mind was when I pulled all these in. I only had one of these wood veneer buttons left. So I was like, you know what? Let's just get it used up. And then I happened to have two little tanny brown buttons, so I was like, those kind of go with the wood grain or wood veneer button. So we're gonna have these in 3 separate areas just to try and create a little visual triangle, and that's gonna get buttons on the page. So that definitely stretched me a little bit to do something a little bit more out of my comfort zone. But that's another plus to these challenges. They just make you do things that you normally wouldn't, and sometimes the result's really cool, sometimes it's a little funky like this one, but I like it. And in the end, I'm glad I got that stuff used up because those buttons have been in my stash for a really, really long time. And after I added the buttons, I wanted to be done, but it still just looked too plain. I just thought it just needed a little something else. So I decided to pull in a couple black pops. I love doing this. When you have a lot of bright colors, adding that little bit of black just changes everything. It just emphasizes the color while grounding it, and I think it's such a cool touch if you look at this page now versus after I add these 2 little strips of black paper. I just think it just changes the whole game. So I had this gap at the top of the blue scrap of paper, so I decided to do a scallopy border punch with some black. But I knew if I was going to add that on the top of the page, I was going to want to balance it on the bottom, so I just cut a skinny black piece to have on the bottom piece of the blue. But I think adding those two things just finished it off perfect. It was just the final finishing touch I needed. So I think after this, I think I'm done. So you guys will see close-ups in a minute. I'm just going to trim up what's hanging off, but this was a fun one. I'm glad I got these products used up. I pretty much everything that I used other than the Nuvo drops that I'll add in a minute is stuff that's been in my stash for a long time that I've just been ignoring. So I'm definitely glad that I pulled it all out and I got a page used with them. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to play along with Festive Friday, I'll link them in the description. Make sure you check out Miranda Weber. She also is a design team member for Festive Friday, and she'll have a process video up today too. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.